the holiday rush is officially on. Just 25 shopping days left until Christmas, and retailers are hoping for more big gains from Santa this year. The S&P Retail ETF has been red hot heading into the holiday shopping season. It is up more than 20% this month, sitting near new all-time highs. And our next guest has two retailers that could win Christmas this year. Let's go off the charts with Chris Verone of Strategas. He was recently ranked the #2 best technical analyst on Wall Street by institutional investors. Congrats on that, Chris. What are the two charts?
Well, there's two names I think that you want to own here, but if you put this in context of the broader discretionary sector, what's been remarkable to us, and if we pull up the first chart, is just how broad this move in discretionary has been. 100% of the sector is above its 200-day moving average. That's as good as anything we've seen in 30-plus years worth of data here. It speaks to how broad this is, and it tells us any weakness over coming weeks or coming months, you want to step in and you want to be a buyer of that. And I think when you look at the relationship between discretionary and staples, risk on versus risk off, the outperformance we've continued to see discretionary beating staples, I think is very reflective of the risk on tone that the market continues to exhibit here, and certainly something that stands in contrast to what the last several years have looked like. And if we pull up a chart of the XRT, which is the retail ETF, I mean, this is basically 3 years of nothing that just decisively broke out. No money was made here since early 2018. That is over now, 50 to 60 very quickly. Be a buyer of pullbacks here. There's good support near 55, 56. And if you look at some of the names that comprise this, Macy's continues to stand out to us. I mean, this move over the last few weeks from 7 to 11 was on big volume. The stock is being accumulated. Use $9.50, $10 as support. We think it finds buyers there. And importantly, relative to the S&P, this one is really starting to turn up here as well, so becoming an outperformer. And then if you look at Five Below, ticker FIVE, this is a different type of chart. This is one that consolidated for the last 2 or 3 years and just broke out to new all-time highs. We like names making new all-time highs. Use weakness here to your advantage. This is a good long-term chart.
Yeah. Tim, your Macy's is looking good, according to Chris.
Well, I mean, you know, the moving the stock is one thing, and I think Chris probably has sized up the 35% short interest, which is now starting to come in, maybe aggressively. But most importantly, they added 7 million new digital customers in the last earnings period. And if you think about a 40% penetration of their sales in digital, this is another one of those stories where COVID accelerated trends, and in this case, a bad trend in some sense, at least restructuring. So in other words, the stuff that the company had to do, and I think was doing, but doing slowly. And I just think that the numbers here, it's been a balance sheet story. If you look at the CDS, Macy's CDS has come in dramatically, meaning the credit investors are getting more bullish, both on a bolstered balance sheet through a capital raise and the fact that free cash flow, at least in the last couple quarters, has been there. And the question is, can they maintain that?
All right, Chris, thanks for the charts. We appreciate it. It's always nice to speak with you. Chris Verone of Strategas. Dan, you actually think that there's another company that could win? Forget about the retailers. What are you looking at? What's the best chart in the market right now?
I think the best looking chart in the market right here is Apple. And, you know, the stock has really underperformed the S&P 500 over the last few months. I mentioned it on the show last Monday. The stock did what it's been doing. It went sideways here. But if you look at this chart right here and you look at this series of higher lows over the last few months, and we've had a series of lower highs, you see that tension building. I see a rising 100-day moving average here. This thing looks like it's poised to win Christmas here, not because of a 5G upgrade super cycle thingy-majiggy, because of the discretionary aspect. That's the staple aspect. That's not a great gift to give, but what is a great gift to give is maybe those AirPods or those $100, you know, the new speaker, the mini, whatever the heck they're calling it. I already bought a few of them. So to me, I think Apple sets up really nicely technically here, and I like the underperformance, and if the market is going to make a new high, which I'm not so certain it will, but I'd rather play it through Apple and make a run for that prior high near 138. It's down about 13% from those all-time highs.
Guy, what do you think of Dan's analysis here of Apple?
Think about, for Dan Nathan, I mean, I think it's spot on, and I think we've been pretty consistent. I actually thought the stock was going to maybe take a look at that $98 level, never did. I guess the sort of the 105 level is where it held, but we said after earnings, you're going to get a shot, and here it was. And, I think the entry point is fine. I think Dan's spot on. I think Katie Huberty at Morgan Stanley made some bullish comments. I think Loop Capital put a $131 price target, which probably gave the stock some support today. So good for Dan. And for those that say he's dogmatic and always negative, there, right in the face, as Eddie Murphy said in Coming to America.
Well, I really wish that we could have gotten a professional technical analyst's opinion, maybe the number 2 analyst on Wall Street for Dan's chart. Chris,
nice.
You're back. Chris Verone is back with us. It's a Christmas miracle, everybody. The guest is back. So what do you make of Dan's chart?
Well, I think Dan knows his charts, and this is a stock that we think goes higher. I mean, it consolidated for 3 months here. It was massively overbought in August and September. It's worked that off through time. No damage was done. Volume was really light. We think this resumes higher and gives a run back at those old highs near 138, 140 into year end.
Chris, thank you again. Chris Verone of Strategas. What did the late, great Regis Philbin used to say about you, Dan? Dan knows a lot.
I think
Dan knows a lot.
Dan knows a lot.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.